I saw my friend husband with a lady who is pregnant. So me being me, I went over and I said, how is such, my friend? He said, who? I said, your wife? He looked at me strange and said, I am not married. I was there on Sunday. I was at the house on Sunday after I left church with these people. And he's telling me he's not married right in front of the girl. So that tells me he's the father of that baby.
This one is a good one. And when I say it's a good one, this is about friendships. This next case is about friendships.
I'm at the hospital. I came to look for somebody at the hospital. As I entered the hospital, I saw my friend husband with a lady who is pregnant. So he saw me, it's evident, because he kind of, so I said to him, kind of looked strange. I was kind of watching what's going on, and I realized he was hugging up on the person. So me being me, I went over and I said, how is such, my friend? He said, who? I said, your wife? He looked at me strange and said, I am not married. I was there on Sunday. I was at the house on Sunday after I left church with these people. And he's telling me he's not married right in front of the girl. So that tells me he's the father of that baby. Yes. So me call my friend now. I said, where you at? Because she's going to come to the hospital to look for the same person. So
hell no. My name is Wes and I'm staying out that mess.
All right. Hold tight on that. Just Jay, talk to me. How do you feel?
The older I get, the more I've learned to sit back and watch certain situations for a minute. I've learned to sit back and just kind of watch a little bit first, and I was never that type of girlfriend, but you just never know. So yeah, I've just learned how to keep my mouth shut when it comes to folks' relationship, and I've never been a busybody in that regard. I have been opinionated, but I just learned to stay out of folks' stuff because yeah, when somebody rocking with somebody, it don't matter what you say. They rocking with them, and until they do whatever they do with their relationship, child, listen, I let my friends vent and whatnot and talk to me, but besides that, I give very little feedback because by the time they booed up, I'm gonna be looking at them sideways because I heard he slapped them. So I just learned how to shut up. Let me.
It happened to me. Okay, that situation happened to me. It personally happened to me.
Mika Marcel said, "Is this her best friend?" Yes. I'm going to ride for my best friend. You going to ride for your best friend. Hold on. Let me see what this says. Mika said, my loyalty is to my best friend, and whatever she does with the info is on her. But what if, because remember, they see, believe none of what is it, half of what you see and none of what you hear? My question to you, Mika Marcel, is what if you don't really know what you're seeing? Because let me clarify it for you, Mika. Let me say this. What this young lady is stating, she did not state that she saw something and called her friend. She saw something that she couldn't be sure about. And then what she did was proactively went and engaged those two people. So it's not about just giving info. She didn't just give info. What she did was actually went and shook the goddamn tree in order to get information. So my question to you, Mika, is would you have done what she did as far as what you see right now in terms of engaging, not just telling her friend, I saw you. She actually became a part of it, in my opinion. You said tell. This person actually went and spoke to them. So I want to make sure, Mika and Erin, are you stating that you both would have literally gone up and engaged in a conversation with this man and that woman? The question that I asked is, would you have engaged them? It's not just calling your friend. You actually went and had an idea in your head about something. You stating that if you saw your friend's husband with a woman out and about, having dinner, for instance, are you stating that you would go and interrupt their dinner? Because
For me, I'm sorry. Go
that's
ahead.
that's where my question for Mika and Aaron is, because I understand wanting to share information with the person you love. I'm talking about the proactive behavior that took place. Go ahead, Jess.
So yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of where I was coming from with the whole sit back and watch, because again, I don't know what's exactly happening, right? So a couple of things, um, the nuances. This is my best friend's husband, right? So yeah, I'm not just walking away because that's my girl. You feel me? Um, I would watch for a bit. Now, depending on my relationship with him, right? Because if this is my best friend, most likely I have some type of rapport with him. At least that's just me. I'm not the type of person that side eyeing my girl peoples. You feel me? And so most likely I would have a rapport with him. I would peek for a minute, and I probably would go and speak, but I wouldn't be on no little sneaky husband. Oh, how your wife and all that kind of weird shit. I wouldn't do that. I would go and speak to him. Um, I wouldn't be messy though, and I probably wouldn't even fully engage. I
Why?
probably would make sure. Well, I
You could,
probably
and
would.
I'm saying why. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you
but
good. You good.
it's very interesting because you said that you would not necessarily engage per se, right? Or
Mhm.
there was. It seems to me that there's a particular method that you would use to engage, which would not be as messy, because you did state you didn't want it to be messy. So my question is,
Facts.
why? I want you to talk to me about that. Because there's something I'm getting at, but I want you to tell me
Okay.
why.
Okay. Well, yeah, like you said, mainly it's the messy thing. Again, I don't know, but I would find a way to communicate with him that I see him, even if I had an assumption in my head, right? I'm still gonna leave space because I don't know. For all I know, that could have been his long lost sister or some shit, and he found her in the street and she was on crack and she was pregnant and he had to take her to the hospital. I don't know. But I would make sure he saw me, but I wouldn't want to make it to where it's very weird and I'm like trying to run up on this chick and I'm not like that. But I probably would definitely make sure he saw me.
Okay. All right. You saw what the ladies were saying. Let's see what Vic says. It had to verify. She was subtle and not messy.
She was messy as hell.
I got to disagree. It's not my business. It's not my relationship. And regardless of what any of y'all say, you can say that you've been around this couple for 150 years. You don't know everything that takes place behind those doors. You don't know what he does to her. But even more importantly, you don't know what she does to him. Sometimes we don't know if that person making that move elsewhere, we don't know if that is or isn't a part of God's plan.
Absolutely. So I guess that's what I meant when I said I would make sure he saw me. Because regardless of what my assumptions are, that's just my personality. I want you to see me and I want you to know I see you, even if I'm assuming, but I'm not going to be messy. I'm not going to be doing all the extra because, like I said before, ultimately, I don't know. And that's why I made the point of as I've gotten older, I've learned to stay out of folks' stuff because you truly don't know what goes on in people's house unless you're there.
Bang, bang.
Know what happened if she caught her husband? Yes, she did caught her husband because they were still there. They didn't get through at the time. So yes, they were there when she came around. A lot of you guys were on live when I was, giving real-time update. I had to hang up the phone. When my friend came, my behavior was different. She knew my behavior was different. I never said to my friend, like, your husband is over there with a woman. No, I never said. I only turned my head like this. And she just followed my head around. And then she just looked. I noticed she, walked into the direction and I walked behind her. And when I went into the room, the guy was sitting down and she called his name and he stood up. And immediately when he stood up, he started to curse me. Instantly he started to call me out of my name, bitch, gal, this, that. And his wife is grabbing him up trying to figure out like, what's this, what's going on? And he's, hey, I'm gonna box you in your face, one slap in your face.
I'm gonna box you one time and I bomb clock for you.
Listen.
No, play.
I still think she was messy. Okay, you have to call your friend to the hospital, your best friend to the hospital when you knowing that you won't see her husband with a potential could be a baby mama. Okay, so no, that's a little messy. And people. You know how black women are, okay? It doesn't matter. They might get to acting crazy, an assumption, don't know what's going on. All they see is a husband with another woman and she can be pregnant. Okay, it's going about to get physical.
I don't know. I don't relate, but I feel you.
I relate. Okay, look, I got this story because it happened to me. Okay,
I want y'all to pay close attention to something that Andrea just emoted. She stated that once you go and you give that kind of information to someone, please watch our shows and you'll learn about two different creatures. One creature is called Just Andrea, and the previous creature that she morphed from was called the 22 to 27-year-old Andrea. Totally different kind of creature. Okay? And we know we have certain friends that are triggered emotionally. Imagine calling or causing this man's wife to come down there to confront him and a pregnant woman. When you bring somebody down, if you know, when you're getting arrested by the cops or they detaining you, if they think you're calling people down there, they can take your phone, because what you're doing is you're bringing another level of something to the mix that could potentially change the amount of control that's going to be elicited in that situation. So imagine you're calling this person down. What if she wants to fight that pregnant woman?
Facts.
Off of an assumption, because remember, she told you herself. She assumed that baby is his child, right? That's all you know right now.
I get it. Some people can be very emotionally triggered. I have my own triggers. You feel me? It might not necessarily be what she experienced. At any rate, I totally get that, right? So that's why I say, I mean, I just sit back and watch, right? The more I see, the less I know. For real, for real. So I think there's a phase in life where people are very zealous. You know, we have our opinions, you know, before, you know, we are opened up to the world and we realize that humans are humans and humans gonna human, you know. I've seen situations like I used to be in church heavy, you know what I'm saying, in the little church marriages and stuff like that, and they look so nice on the outside. Meanwhile, she getting beat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He addicted to porn. You know, I used to be very naive when I was young, and so when I would come across these situations and or people being quote unquote exposed, you know, whether it was directly or indirectly, I would be shook, you know, because in my mind, wow, they are elder in the church and they were, you know. And so in my early 20s, when I became exposed to that type of stuff, and I realized like we all human, and you just really don't know. My homegirl could be coming to me telling me how she been shitted on and he done did this and this and that and that and that. And then you could talk to him and he'll say, well, the other day she slapped me in the face. Like, you be getting so much different information. I just learned to go sit my ass down because I wasn't there. She need to sit her ass down. That is a situation that could escalate into something very ugly. I watch ID channel all the time, and child, listen, who knows? Just go sit your ass down.
She a dangerous friend. How about that? I said she a dangerous friend. She'll get your ass locked up. That's just me. I ain't getting none of my friends who I love motherfucking locked up. She gonna get your ass locked up, okay? Cause she that's a wild card in the bunch. When you call the wife down, that's a wild card. The wife is the wild card because you don't know what emotion she coming in there with. She could hurt the woman, hurt the man, and it's a wild card. I can't have my friend like that. No, I ain't calling. And matter of fact, I might not even tell her I seen her husband, but I will be good. Her husband, I will be giving him the eye, like, nigga, you know, you see me, and I seen you.
The question is, do you believe that she was right in the moves that she made?
So in the case of the friend, no, I don't feel her actions was right.
No, I felt like her actions was not right either.
Vic said, that nigga messy already. Let the homie be her own detective. She was right. Old girl got a whole baby. That ain't just side dish. We got Blue Pill Vic on deck. Hold on, what else he said? Who needs enemies with friends like you? You better tell me the truth and then try to calm me down. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
If I love you, bro, I'm trying to keep you free.
Out of jail. I'm trying to keep you out of jail because I know how hot your temper is. And let me tell you something. If your homegirl, you've been friends with her about 20 years or 2 decades, 3-4 years, you know her, you know how she moves. So if you know she's a hothead, she coming in here with guns blazing. Nah, no, we ain't gonna do it. Ain't nobody going to jail tonight.
Mika said no, she shouldn't have called her friend to the hospital. If she was messy, shouldn't have assumed that it was his baby and shouldn't have called her friend down there. Okay. Aaron Laura said maybe differently, but I'm still approaching him and I'm still telling my friend. Vic said, how long you gonna keep it from how long to keep it from you before you tell me? How long you gonna keep it from me before you tell me?
I'm taking it to the grave.
I wouldn't say I'm taking it to the grave. You know what I mean? I think it's important that I would let him know. But then it's also important that I let them know at the right time. If you love somebody, then what takes place is you care. You don't just care about passing them information. Because when you pass that information, all you're doing is taking it off of your own guilt and off of your own heart and unloading it onto the other person who's going to feel it way more than you. When we go to the hospital to get taken care of, to get surgery, they don't just cut into us and remove it. They sedate us. When we go to the hospital, before they even treat us, if we come in through the ER trauma unit, they stabilize us. Because it's important how we're going to receive that treatment, how we're going to receive that medicine. If your blood pressure is high and your heart is palpitating, you will receive medicine differently than if you're at a level of stasis. So if I care about this person, perfect example. What if your friend has epilepsy? What if your friend has seizures? What if your friend is hypertensive? What if your friend is hypertensive? You delivering that information, you have to be careful how you provide that information to them. Okay. So let's keep this going. It's starting to stir some stuff up. Let's keep this going.
Situation. That's how he be going on. And I said, try me. Try me. He's saying, oh, you ruined my marriage. You ruined my marriage. I said, no, ruin your marriage. You just told me you never married. You just told me you never married. So how did I ruin your marriage? I didn't take your penis out of your pants and put it into this lady. While the lady, she didn't even, to be honest, this lady, the pregnant lady seemed like she was in a different world. She didn't know what was happening. She just there like, huh? What? This, that, the whole shebang. My friend is there crying and she's talking to him and said, why did you do this? How could you do this? And he's saying, oh, it's not what it seemed. And I'm like, what? So me in the background, or like whomever there say, what do you mean by it's not what it is? And then he's cursing me out. Security come, people there, people have their cameras, people come.
Where is her blasted business?
She's just all up in the business.
God damn, shit.
She's like she a damn reporter.
Now listen, this is my best friend. You feel me? Like I said, I'd handle it differently. After you put the poll up, I did my vote. I'd handle it differently. He gonna see me because that's my personality. He's gonna see me. He gonna make eye contact with me, and I'm gonna make sure he knows that I see him and I see her. Right? How long I sit on it depends on what's going on. Like I said, I'm just at the age in my life where I just realize you don't know everything about people's lives, and even your best friend. You don't know the ins and outs of their how they interact with one another every day. She could call you and say, girl, this dude get on my nerves, yada yada, but you still, unless you live there and you sitting there looking at them all day and you go in the bedroom with them, you don't know. So how long I sit on it depends on what may be going on. I mean, he got a whole family going on, so that's a time management thing going on right there anyway. So I don't know, I don't want to get too far into that. It could be all kind of stuff. Like I said, that's my bestie. Regardless, I've still learned. I've been best friends with someone who was in an abusive relationship for over 12 years. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about pull you by the hair, drag you down the street, and beat your ass. I mean, literally. You understand what I'm saying?
I was born in
traumatic.
Brooklyn. I understand.
But But my thing is, despite me being her best friend, that didn't stop her from leaving. You understand what I'm saying? People,
Right.
listen. Relationships evolve how they evolve without you in the middle of it. And so my thing is, she obviously got a lot of time on her hands. Me personally, I'm just really not gonna be digging that much. I'm just not, and that's just not me. Doesn't mean I don't love my friend, but my friends have confided in me. And then when I was ready to like go the fuck in, because I've heard some crazy shit, then they looking at me sideways because they done made up. So I learned how to just sit my ass down. But eventually, I probably would tell her, but it just depends on what's going on. But eventually, she would definitely know. But yeah, there ain't nobody sitting on it for years.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We got Erin Laura up here screaming. She said, "If that's his baby, he should have known better than to go to a hospital that I'm going to happen to go into. He was messy not going a town over." Mm. You could say he was messy not going a town over, or he didn't have any control over who her physician was going to be, who her OBGYN was, and he probably had no choice. I'll just say maybe that's the key. You know, Mika said I probably would have to check best friend, i.e., she never told me. Erin Lawrence said he's sloppy. Yeah, I would give him that. That's sloppy, especially if you had it going on. Especially if you had it going on like that, bruh.
Yes, he definitely is sloppy. He's definitely sloppy.
You just sent your cousin over there with her, or you know what I'm saying? Figure something out. That I wouldn't even do that kind of thing. But even if I had for a second thought about it, hell, in, in the same state, shit, come on, yo, you
No, he
crazy.
definitely seems to be a trash person based on the little bit we've seen.
Hmm.
So yeah, it ain't even about, oh, he my best friend and I'm trying to, but no, no, he seems like a trash person. But like I said, I've just learned to be a bit more passive when it comes to other people's business.
Aha. Okay. So we're about to flip to the next one. As you're watching, if your vote changes, click the poll and change your vote. It's on you. Okay.
You playing
So
mind games with us, chef.
nah, just listen. We ain't finished yet. We ain't finished yet.
Okay, I knew it's something else out this corner right here.
Right.
I was on my way home. My friend called me and asked me where I was, and I said I'm heading home, and she asked me if I could come back to the hospital. When I went back to the hospital at this time, she and the lady was in one room talking. The pregnant lady was in one room talking. The lady said he told her that's the husband told her that he's not married, he's in a relationship, but the relationship is toxic. The relationship is not good, and they sleep in separate rooms, that kind of thing, but he's there for the children. That's what he told her. She said, you know what? They've been together for 4 years. This is their second child, not their first. Second child. They have a daughter which is 2 years old. And this baby that she's carrying is going to be their second child. This lady is 6 months pregnant. 6 months pregnant. And at first, temper was high, like with my friend and all these things. And then when I went there,
Wow, he got too much time on his hands.
I'm like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time for all that, child. I understand. Shout out to the sisters in the chat. Listen, y'all ride or die. Sis over here is getting old. I refuse to be on the ID channel effing around with these people. Okay?
Question. Now you guys understand that she knew something. Does that change your vote at all?
Yeah, because she had accountability too, because she knew about the woman, the wife.
Do you believe that argument that, well, she's a younger person and she's susceptible to being fooled by an older dude?
That's what that seems to be to me, right? It's a lot of situations, and this is just
Yes,
how I interpret this. Sometimes people do get caught up in relationships where they may have information, but this person is reassuring them, oh, we're in separate beds, and da 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 da. Meanwhile, that's not the case, and you're believing whatever this person says. And for whatever reason, you are allowing this relationship to develop instead of cutting it off. Um, while this person is still tied up or whatever the case is. You feel me? So I mean, it could be because she's young. It could be because she just don't value herself. Young, old, whatever. It's all the same. That doesn't change. That doesn't change my standpoint because that's based on the other woman having information about my friend. It's not about my friend having information about the woman. I don't care
Absolutely.
how old she is. I mean, people. I listen. I see 60-year-old people still. Go ahead, Andrea.
I would give her that, but okay, okay, I would give her that. Okay, so she's young, that's fine. I would give her, she was naive, blah blah blah. Okay, but now you have baby number two. Now he told her, but now she's on baby number two. It's accountability for her too. And it wasn't like it wasn't like she didn't know about the one, but the wife. Okay, now okay, I can understand baby number one, but you could have baby number two. Okay, now it's accountability, and I'm being naive. Okay, I get that. But you on baby number two. That's that bullshit now.
But what that got to do with the friend, though? My friend is what I'm trying to understand. I don't understand what that got to do with my friend.
And
Because
that's the key. Because remember, it's about the friend, right?
yes, I think she has too much time on her hands. She need her own life. I don't know what she got some kids or a husband or something else to do.
Okay. Aaron Laura said, round of applause for the best friend. All right.
Listen,
So,
Aaron about that life, okay? Listen, one thing I
listen, man.
respect about Aaron, she ain't switching up. She ain't switching up. I respect that.
Listen, she's she's the chief capo of the Toronto Crips. So no, stop.
Listen, I almost
Nah,
fell
this is
out.
my
I'm
girl, yo. Right. So we ain't done yet, y'all. So here's part 5.
Like, even though whatever was happening, and I said to her, really and truly, we can't even blame her much. And my friend said, honestly, I'm not even mad with her. I'm mad with him. I'm not mad with her because based on what she's telling my friend, what he told her, that's why she was going off. So this guy have 3 kids alive plus 1 on the way. Because he has 2 with my friend, 1 with this lady, and a second one on the way. Living a whole complete life. And she's way younger than my friend. This girl is 23. 23. Do the math. Do the math. You've been with her since she was 19 years old. Big grown-ass man. Fucking grown-ass man. 19 years old. Been with this girl since she was 19 years old. And now it's her second child. So she depended on him. She depended on him and she believed everything.
The friend got me tickled. I'm so like she kept making that little fake. So yeah, I'm just
I keep
saying.
waiting for her to say. I'm Courtney Michelle. If y'all get it, you know what I mean? She remind me of Chantel.
The backdrop, but I didn't see it. But I get the backdrop. But
Right.
that speaks to what goes on a lot. And like I say, sometimes I don't know. I lately I've been just annoyed with black folks in general, people in general. We have a need to blame, and uh we focus on blaming and shaming usually the person who was a quote unquote victim, right? And sometimes we get caught up and we don't focus on bad behavior. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to get off too much, right? Everybody talking about freaking now, right? Everybody talking about people, mamas is getting exposed and hoes is getting exposed. And like I told people, I don't care nothing about no hoes and no nasty men and slapping booty cheeks. If everybody was having mutual fun, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about trying to shame nobody because that's what they did. Because Woodstock, Sturgis, and the rest of the people don't do all this foolishness. Okay, they're not talking about it 40 years later. You feel me? But at any rate, what I was gonna say is I keep hearing, oh well, she should have known better to be going out to these parties, and she shouldn't have wore that, and she shouldn't have did this, do that, and that wasn't wise on her part. Now we're talking about college folk, young college folk, right? That need to learn shit in life, right? We expect everybody to come with this whole skill set, at the age of 19, 20, whatever. So Anyway, my question was, and I asked several people, men and women, I say, do y'all think that we, people in general, that we focus on shaming women, focusing on the behaviors of women, trying to control the behaviors of women, because ultimately, subconsciously, we all expect men to be shit people and to be trash people. Because we don't really focus on behaviors. We focus on what everybody else should have done. He the trash person in the whole equation.
Initially, I was solely putting culpability in turn. I was solely judging her actions as a friend. I've had friends that I love dearly that were literally trying to take each other's lives. I'm not going to go into detail, but people that know me, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
People that I love dearly that were trying to take each other's lives. Even in this YouTube space, I rock with everybody. I don't have YouTube beefs on channels where you got two different people going at them, and I got a wrench on both of those channels.
Listen, Chef, I
And this
was
is a
just
lot
talking
of
about
channels. I got wrenches on a lot of channels. You know what I'm saying? And I do give love and respect to folks that feel that I'm judicious enough or fair enough for you to give me a wrench as a moderator on your channel, right? And I handle that responsibility with respect. But what also happens, I find myself sometimes when I'm watching YouTube, I don't feel comfortable sometimes talking in the chats because now I got that blue wrench when this person who I got love for over here, and then the person who I rock with over here, I got a blue wrench on their channel. You follow? So in terms of understanding the differences between how we move and understanding friendships, I see them in a weird way, right? So to transition this conversation, Quantum said, I don't know, 19 or 30. Listen, if a man is living with a woman, a mother of his kids, do not F with him, period. Right?
Exactly.
Yes. And that, exactly. But now I like what Erin's doing too. What Erin's doing is she's speaking to the switch or the shift in perspective now, because she says, whoa, if she was groomed younger than that, I can rescind culpability. Culpa is a Latin word which stands for fault. So when you use the term mea culpa, that's you making your apology or saying my bad, or it's like, yo, that was my fault. It's what that is accountability, right? So she says if she was groomed younger than that, because at this point, she was 19 years old when she was impregnated. Remember, she was 19 years old when she was impregnated. But technically, we don't judge the date of the beginning of a relationship by virtue of the date of conception or the date of birth of that child. There has to be a vesting period, an emotional vesting period. They had to meet, maybe had a drink, maybe went dancing, maybe had a couple dinners. We don't know. But we can't assume that the first time he smashed was the day she gave birth. She gave birth at 19. Reverse 9 months before that. They're only 12 months in a year. Okay? You reverse 9 months before she gave birth. So what? Did they smash? Did they conceive the first day that we met? Probably not. So more than likely, he met her at the latest. She was 18 years old, a fresh adult. So in terms of the grooming aspect, because remember, Quantum, you said 19, but she gave birth at 19. So this might have been an 18-year-old that dude was messing with. So when we use the term groomed, what it does is it gives him more responsibility. It gives him more responsibility because even though the law says that she's an adult, she can't drink a Corona. She can't buy a Newport. She can't get matches. She can't get rolling papers. She can't whatever. She can't go to the cigar bar at 18. Why are we putting so much pressure on her? She more than likely was groomed. But that's my opinion.
Well, me personally, if you notice in the conversation, I never mentioned the other woman. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I
Right.
say, that's what I meant about the whole messy stuff. Like I'm just not like that. I'm I'm just not that person. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things, I'm not about bringing dirt to people's doorstep. You know, even when I was in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing homeboy with homegirl. You know, I confront him. I'm not confronting her. I don't know her. I'm not taking my frustrations out on him because he didn't make a commitment she didn't make a commitment to me. He did, you know. So that's just my personality. So yeah, from jump, I never even honestly focused on the other woman per se. She ain't even a factor for me, you know, because he's a trash person and he preyed on that young girl. Like let me not even go there. But yeah, he preyed on that young girl, and so that was my thing. You don't be knowing.
Any final closing remarks for this particular one, Andrea?
No, he was trash, you know, but the friend, she still was too much involved because it could cause it could have went either way. Never know. People personality
Nasty bag of bastard.
people personalities can flip out. You know, my thing is I'm just trying to keep my friend out of jail. Okay, I'd rather her see another day than she got to go spend some time in jail or hurt her husband. So we can have cool heads and figure this out.
All right, all right. And as we just it says, caliente basura, which technically is basura caliente, which is pretty much hot garbage, hot trash. All right, and I agree on that one. Aaron said, fair enough. In my personal experience, I just know my friend wouldn't cause a public scene, nor would I. And then Mika said, I hope my friend is, is like the messy one. All right. Was the best friend right in the way she handled the situation? We have 20% yes, 20% no, and 60% stated I'd handle it differently. So in the end, what I would say is I will call this one a hung jury.